Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. Today we have a super short and sweet video for you. We're going to do the end of the year book tag because since I've spent the whole summer on a reading slump, my reading objectives were basically shit. So we need to do like a recount before the end of the year. So without further ado, let's just get started. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? So you'll see, the book that I have DNF'd, I will not be continuing this year. The only book that I have on my currently reading is Spirits of Vengeance by Rob J. Hayes. I got an arc of this and I didn't finish it because I was in such a reading slump that not even one of my favorite series of all time could pull me out of it. And I was feeling so bad because I wasn't enjoying this as much as I should. So I was just like, okay, we're pausing this. I will not be reading a shit this week. And then we will continue. So this is the only book that I have to finish. Oh my God, can we just check this cover a bit? But yeah, I'm dying to actually finish this right now because my reading mood and my and my love for reading is back. So I've been reading like non-stop for this last month and a half. So in the summer, I will be finishing this. Even maybe this month if I have time, because also reading my books for SPSFC has been a bit of a nightmare lately, and I haven't been reading physically like anything besides that. So maybe I will wait to the audiobook, but I will definitely finish this before the end of the year because I need to. This is so good. The Mortal Technique series is so good. Then question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I answered this last year. I don't. There's not that book that I'm just like, okay, it's fall, it's winter. No, I just find myself reading more like thrillery, dark fantasy in general. I feel like reading more like chunker fantasy in winter. I don't know why. But instead of reading like sci-fi and such, I feel like reading more fantasy. And I usually read more fantasy towards the end of the year and at the beginning. But that's it, especially dark fantasy. I need more dark fantasy recommendations, by the way. Feel free to drop them down below because I need them. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Yes. A good chunk of them actually, but we're going to talk about 3 mostly. So of course, The Bale Throne, the 3rd book in the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu, which I adore, and it's one of my favorite series of all time, and I cannot wait for book 3. As you know, we're hosting a read-along for the series, and we're currently reading book 2. So yeah, that's probably my number 1 pick. The second one, of course, is going to be Leviathan Falls, which is the last book in The Expanse. Which makes me so fucking sad you cannot even imagine. It's the 9th and final book. It's a 9th book long series, yes. Is it worth it? Yes. But yeah, it's my favorite sci-fi series, so I'm a little bummed about it. And I cannot also buy the physical copy because I have the tiny paperbacks and I do not want to buy the big one when it comes out. So I'll probably listen to it as an audiobook. But damn. I'm so sad. I think that I'm going to cry like a fucking baby because I'm so not ready for it to end, but sad. And the other one that I want to talk about is Jade Legacy, basically the last book in the holy fuck, the Greenbone Saga. So shit names. Oh, what a day. But yeah, it's also going to be the final book, and I'm so sad about it too because all of my friends have basically been raving about the ending, that it was heartbroken and terrifying and an incredible ending to the series. I do have an arc of it and I should be tackling that very soon, but still, I'm super sad about it because I know that it's going to be so painful. The Greenbone Saga is fucking amazing ancient inspired fantasy. I highly recommend that you try it if you haven't yet, but it's fucking amazing. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Basically, I want to finish the Cradle series and catch up till book 10th, which is coming out this month. I had no idea that 2 books of the Cradle were coming out this year. I thought I only had to read the next one, Bloodline, and I would be done with it. But no, we have another one coming and I'm just like, Wait, what? So yeah, I want to tackle these last two books because I'm currently reading Winter Seal. It's so much longer than the other ones and I'm feeling it. But yeah, I'm super excited to finish in this series. It's been my favorite series of all year. I've been loving it since I started it in March. What a great choice. Thank you so much to everyone who recommended this one to me, especially to Connor, because man, you were so right. But holy shit, I need to finish this series. I cannot live another month without finishing it. Then yes, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So many of you ask me for this series because I talk a lot about dark fantasy, and there's always this comment asking, have you read the first law? Yes, I have, though I haven't finished it. I really want to finish the First Law trilogy by Joanne Abercrombie. This is the last argument of Kings, which is book 3. I only have to read book 3. The problem that I have with this series is that I'm a plot-driven person. So I need a lot of plot in my books. If not, I feel it missing and it's super hard for me to focus on it. And this series is definitely not plot-driven. It's definitely character-driven. Don't get me wrong, I love these characters. Glodka is fucking amazing, but holy shit, for me there's not like that anxious feeling wanting to continue the story because for me there's not a story here. So it's really difficult for me to go back to it. Even though I really want to read the other books set in the same world because apparently they are much more plot heavy. And I also want to read his new series, Trouble with Peace or something like that. But yeah, I'm finishing it next month. Then the other book that I really want to read before the end of the year is Ascendance Right by David Hare, which is book 4 in the Moontide Quartet, meaning I will finish this series. I was in such a bad mood after reading Unholy War. I dislike that book so much. Like, it's probably going to be my most disappointed book of the year. Can I already tell you that? But holy shit, it was so bad after the amazingness that is Scarlet Ties, because Scarlet Ties is peak fantasy, and Holy War was the bottom of that fantasy shelf that you don't want to reach. That type of disappointment. So yeah, I do want to finish this book because apparently this one is much better than the previous one according to the reviews that I've seen, but these are so long, 800 pages each. Still, it's one of my favorite series, even with Unholy War in that mix. I love the concept of the different cultures and such. It's great, so I need to finish it because I really want to start with Sun Search, which is the next series set in the same world. So yeah, I will be finishing this next month. 2 chunkers next month because I apparently just hate myself. The next question is there a book you still think could shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Of course. I mean, I still have to read Jade Legacy, Leviathan Falls, The Bale Throne. I think The Bale Throne is going to be the winner. And it's going to take the place of The Wall of Storms, actually. My current favorite book of the year is book 2 in the Dandelion Dynasty. So I think maybe The Bale Throne might top it, or even Jade Legacy. I've seen great things about Jade Legacy, so I'll think about it. Probably the 9th book in the Cradle might shock me a lot because it's so many people's favorite book in the Cradle series, and it came out this year, so I'm a bit nervous about it because my current favorite is the 3rd book, Black Flame, even though Undercrown and Underlore were amazing, were such good books, and also book 5, yeah, Skysworn, was it a Skysworn? Yeah, there's a really high possibility of a new book coming on top of the other ones for best of the year this year, because last year I was just like so decided on what book was going to be my favorite one of the year. Like, I was so like, yes, this is going to be the number 1. So the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Actually, yes. I do really need to finish series. I've been a mess at that this year. I'm usually pretty good at finishing series, actually. But this year, because during 3 months, I barely read anything, and I was just reading like standalones and mood reading a lot. I didn't finish a shit. So I really need to finish series next year. Also, I'm going to start reading one War Wild classic book a month. I don't usually read classics. I read a lot of them when I was in high school because I had a subject about them. So I really want to get back into that, but reading more like around the world classics, because I just don't enjoy your UK classics. They're so boring to me. So scratch that. We're going to try again. But yeah, I'm going to read a little bit of more classics. I won't say every single month, but I feel like I'm better with one every 2 months. I also want to get into more self-pub. I don't know, I think that I do pretty okay now. Like I read at least 2 a month, but I want to get that a little bit higher. So probably 3 a month, we'll see. And I'm going to forbid myself for reading the same series every single month, because this year I cheated a bit because I've been reading at least one book a month self-published, because I've been reading the Crown series. So yeah, I've been thinking about hosting a readathon. I've been thinking a lot about it, but we'll see if I have the time, because I'm currently in a really busy time in my life. So if I have the time, I will do it, because I've been like really craving it lately. I'm also assembling a Discord server. So if you want to join, just let me know down in the comments below, because I want to reassure myself that you want that. But yeah, that's basically going to be all for today. So do you have any books that you need to finish before the end of the year, or any series that you really want to squeeze in between November and December? Just let me know down below. But as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.